What is going on, guys? It's Rich, formerly Raven of Wolfpack Entertainment. Before I get on with this tutorial, which is a compromise to certain people who are asking me to do certain things, I want to talk a little bit about those people who are asking those things. Now, some of you in my videos have asked, in my comment sections of videos that have nothing to do with modding, have asked me to do more modding tutorials for WWE 2K. Ain't doing it. I don't mod anymore. However, this video will show you how I make my created wrestlers, which was my my replacement for modding. Because I have a specific way that I like to do it. So, let's get right into it. And we're going to be making Veda Scott today, so let's get in. And we're back, and what we're looking at here is one of the things you're going to need for this. This is Microsoft Copilot AI. Using it for what we're using it for is free, but if you want to do like logos and stuff, there is a limit to how much you can do per day for free. So you might want to think about buying it if you don't want the limits. It's a good AI for what it's worth, though. Excuse me. And something else we're going to need, let me just switch my tab here, is a face scan maker. Now this is what is this called? This is Pika AI. I think I want to get this right. Now this is AI Face Swap Playground is what this is. AI Face Swap. I'll leave the link below. I'm on the paid plan because it gives you more credits per day. I forget what the limit is if you're not. But this is how we're going to do this. So, let's switch it back to the AI for now. Will you go back to the AI, please? Oh. I'm stupid. I gotta switch the tab. Okay. So, what we're gonna do, let's pick a created wrestler from this list. I'm gonna do Veda Scott from my real wrestler side section. Now, I suggest organizing all your calls like I have here. For example, Veda Scott we know is VS09. So all I've got to do to bring up her sliders, which I've already made, is tell it to bring it up by doing this. And then it brings it up. So that's how we're gonna. However, I've already got it saved, but if you didn't have it saved, you would do this. Now, you would obviously replace Veda Scott with whatever wrestler you're working with, and for the most part, it'll come up with 09 or 08. I've had maybe 110. And it'll figure this out for you. And then come up with this, like we did below. It matches this, you see. So then after that, you're going to go over. I have a picture of Ashley Gold here because I was working on somebody else. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a new tab. I'm going to search up Veda Scott here. Veda Scott. And you want a picture of her without her glasses on because it will mess up the texture otherwise. And you're going to go over here to images. And this one looks okay. Except there's no neutral look there. So you want one where she doesn't have any emotion on her face. And with Veda, that's hard to find, honestly. Now, I said no glasses. This one might work. We're going to try a few different ones. This one also might work. In fact, it will. Like I said, I'm going to take a few different ones to show you some different options here. And you're going to click on the picture and hit Save Image As. And yes, our face swapper will use... our swapper can actually use a WebP file. Now the next thing you'll need is like the cost up here, so I need that. You're going to need a face texture template, which I will leave in the comments. I'll leave you one for the guys, one for the girls. Now, I actually made Veda ages ago, so actually I'm not going to use that one. We'll be saving over that one. I'm going to send all these templates with you guys in the comments. I will upload them. We'll use template number 3 here. And then we're going to use, like I said, we're going to use some different photos of Veda for some different results. We have our first photo in. Let's see what it looks like with the glasses. And it actually didn't mess it up. We can use that. So I'm going to hit there, but I'm going to actually show you what the other one's going to look like too. Both of them are pretty good. So now we're going to hop over to Photoshop, which you will need for this because I don't know where else you're going to find the camera raw filter that we're currently using for this. Okay, so what we've got here, yeah, again, I've got another template up here, but let's grab one of our Veda Scotts because we're going to be doing this one twice. I'm going to use the more detailed one right here. We bring that in, and you click that lock on background to make it layer 0. And then we're going to go up here to camera raw filter. Now, I can't tell you where to get it, but I suggest Photoshop 2020. It has it already in there. Otherwise, you may have, this is the Photoshop to get if you don't want to mess with trying to find the edit yourself. And you want it for the clarity option here, as well as down here. You want it for sharpening and noise. You want all these options under detail. Next thing we're going to do, though, normally I would say, because the lighting, you want to cover that up, but you have a little light spot here on the nose you would cover up with a paint tool by doing it. I'll show you how to do it, even though this picture really doesn't need it. You would take this and then make a new layer up here, and then you would paint over it right there. I'm not going to do it. And then you would set that to either darker color or lighter color, depending on how light or dark the skin tone is. Now, let's use the crunching. We have that. I don't need the additional layer, so I'm going to get rid of it. I duplicate the layer, go to Filter, Other, High Pass. I have it set to 5.8. It works for me in game that way. Set it to Overlay, and you're done. You'll save it as, I'm going to save it in the folder here. I'm going to save it under my Face Textures folder over my old Veda Scott template. And here's the next step. We're going to go back to our Internet Explorer, or whatever browser you use. I use Opera, not that it matters. And I'm going to exit away. We're going to go to the WWE 2K part of this, and we're going to upload the face we just made for Veda Scott. Upload now. And you want to make sure that the maximum you use for the sizing is 820 by 820. Anything other than that, it won't take it. And now we're going to head into the game. I will see you guys there.